tonight. Kick off with Sam from the Telegraph.
Hi again. Forgive my ignorance, but what are the things that they can do at Barcelona's academy that you can't do here?
For example, we lived in La Masia. To replicate that here, it's impossible. You cannot do it. It's the most unique environment that I have seen in my life, the most competitive, the most inspiring, and the most probably professional environment that at any club that I've seen or academy that I've seen that replicates a first-team environment at 14, 15 years old. To do that with the capacity to recruit from all over Spain or all over in the world, if you want it at that time, that's, I think, very, very difficult to achieve.
Do you wish that Arsenal did have that?
I wish, yeah. Because from that room, we were 32 players there. I think 29 of them made it to the highest level. The 6 that they share room with me, they were legends in football world. You know, that's unheard of. So there is something special there. That's not a coincidence, and they've done it for decades now.
And just on Ethan, we can all see the skill and the ability on the ball, but how many things does he still need to learn in terms of the on-ball requirements and pressing and all the stuff that we don't necessarily see in the same way?
Of course, there is a lot. With and without the ball, his game understanding, everything. But the thing is, first of all, is can you cope with the demand of being thrown there and be yourself? And that's a massive yes, you know, and you can see in every decision making. The other things, they will come. And Ethan 4 weeks ago is a different player, 8 weeks ago, different player. 10 weeks further up, he will be a different player and a better player. So I think we're in the right path with him. Let's make sure that he grows in the right way.
Jordan, son?
I'm Mikel. 3 days into the window, and you obviously haven't got Edu anymore. Just how's it going there? Is it different? Does it feel different without him there?
It's different, you know. I'm so used to doing things with Edu, but Jason was part of that team, big part of that team. He's in charge. He's in full charge right now, and we have great communication. We are talking every day, and we are prepared.
Is there a confidence within the club that you can still attract, convince those types of players without them, like?
Yeah, the good thing about that is that neither Jason or I or Rich or Tim or the owner has to convince any players. The players want to come to Arsenal because what Arsenal is and how Arsenal is perceived, and that's a massive bonus.
And just finally, how hard is it, given everything that's gone on, the injuries and not having Edu, how hard is it not to panic this month and say we need just something, someone to lift the mood, to change something?
Well, because I think we panic means that we are not prepared. And a big thing is preparation. And when you are well prepared, I think your decisions will be better. They will be very well processed. And then, yeah, it will be the thing whether when we decide to sign a player, does he perform, yes or no? And that's a good decision or a bad decision after that. The preparation is done, for sure. And we are ready. We have to do something. But we know as well that we have an excellent squad, and with players available, we can compete with any team.
Yes, Sam?
I'm Mikel.
Hi.
With the academy, does that also include looking at players from abroad as well? Would you like that to be a bit more broader, where you can actually pick players from anywhere?
Yeah, we could do that, different parts of the country as well, and don't be so limited as well with the financial situation that all the clubs have at the moment. But that's a regulation. It might change, it might not. We just need to be so good with the actual regulation right now. But it is very different in Europe. That's the thing that I don't think is very, very fair.
With Bukayo Saka, obviously, for any team, if you lose a player like Saka, it's going to obviously have an impact. Looking at the Liverpool front three, obviously, Salah, Diaz and Gakpo, with your front three, with the loss of Saka, does that kind of change your mindset going into January, or do you have to just ignore that and say, here's what it is, we don't have to dance while Saka's injured?
No, I think it's different. They have 5 amazing players that they have signed over the years as well, and they have invested a lot of money there. We have other kind of players, fantastic players as well, that they have produced a lot for us, so very happy with what we have.
Thanks, Sam. Just a couple more each. Gary, from Times.
Would it help you then, Mikel, you said it's different in Europe, would it help you almost to have a club in Europe which you could actually park your youngsters in?
Well, that's something that a lot of clubs have at the moment, you know. So that restriction, obviously, in the country has provoked that many other clubs have now, like sister club or multi-club systems, to be able to do that. So looking ahead in the future is something to basically to explore, because obviously with the actual system it's very, very difficult.
You about Jorginho, he sort of mentioned in the past maybe about going into coaching. So you were a player here, where you came to the end of your career at that point when you went somewhere else.
Mm.
Would he or be the type of person you'd want to kind of go into coaching here, where you could then have a link between the first team and the coaching side?
With Georgie, the first thing is the player that we have right now. That is an excellent player, and he gives us so much. When he's playing a lot of games and when he's playing so many, the impact he has in the team and his role in the team is incredibly important. What he decides to do after, I think I know the answer, but I think he's going to have to play the maximum, because he still looks really, really good, and one day I think he's going to be a top coach.
Okay, last couple, one in the back there. And then Ed here.
Mikel, are there some players, you talk about the amount of games you've got at the moment, are there some players you just can't afford to rest to at this stage of the season or throughout the season? How hard is that for you to manage their workload? I think that's so important.
Yes, well, we had, especially with injuries, certain limitation in certain positions. But it's what it is, you know. We're going to have to try to manage them, not only in games, but as well in training, when we have the time to rest them or give them some time off as well. It's various ways to rest or offload a player, and we are looking at every possibility and the best possibility for each individual as well. And hopefully, with having 2-3 players back, is going to help those rotations as well.
And one player like Gabriel Jesus, you talk about being outside, now back in the side, he just wants games, I imagine, doesn't he?
Yes, and when you are in that moment, obviously you want to continue to play. Obviously, he had a massive step up in load in recent week, and we need to monitor that as well.
And finally, Ed.
Hi, Mikel. Just
Hi.
on multi-club networks at other clubs, do you think it's obviously becoming a much more common thing? Do you think it's going to be something that's really necessary in the future to have, to compete with clubs that are within that kind of network?
Yeah, well, I think every club is very different, and the way they've set up and the clubs that they have picked is various. But in our ways, obviously, the vision from our ownership and the board to understand, okay, what is the best thing for the club in that sense for the future.
Is that something that you would be involved in the process of, if Arsenal were to look into?
My involvement is in the team and the squads, and full trust in what the club has to do there. Is for them to decide. If they want my opinion at some moment, obviously more than happy to do that, but my focus is on the team.